Hey, I wanted to give you just a little better maybe explanation for, I think I did problem 38, but it would be your guys' problem 39 would be similar, and maybe describe a better way, a little easier way to do it maybe in these cases, because it can get kind of messy when we're talking about the 1 and the 0, that goes in the type. And so let's just take a look. At least it would give you a way to certainly confirm your answer. Okay, so if you remember, number 38 anyhow had this question. It said Del Monte will receive the following payments at the end of the next 3 years: 2,000, 3,500, and 4,500. Then from the end of the 4th through the end of the 10th year, he's going to receive an annuity of $5,000 per year at the discount rate of 9%. What's the present value of all 3 future benefits? And I kind of stumbled through a little bit of doing it this way and figuring out the zeros and the ones and those types of things. But if we put this on a timeline, I think it makes it a little bit easier to explain. So let's take the first through 1 through 10. And by the way, there's an easier way to input those. If you want to, you can put the 1 and then the 2, and then if you kind of left click and highlight both of those and then grab that little bottom corner there, you can do that. It's going to know that you wanted to keep numbering those. So now we got years 1 through 10, right? And I'm going to receive 2,000 at the end of year 1, and 3,500 at the end of year 2, and 4,500 at the end of year 3, and then at the end of year 4, end of year 5, end of year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. I'll receive those payments. So really, and my rate, by the way, is up here is 9%, which I could have any given place. I could even put it in here, and maybe I will, just for the heck of it. Okay, so if I want to just calculate it this way, I can do it, and let me show you. I can say that I'm going to calculate the present value of my rate is 9%. My number of periods, let's just click on this one over here, and then my future value is going to be 2,000, right? So I'm going to receive 2,000 a year from now at a 9% discount rate. What's it worth today? Then the answer is 1,834, but I should have done something different, and I'm going to redo it just to show you, and I'll explain why when I get there. But let's do the same formula. Okay, so I'm going to use present value. My rate is this, but okay, my rate's always going to stay right here in this cell. It's cell C8, right? If I want to, I can click F4, and that puts a $ in front of each of those, and it maintains that reference. Okay. My number of periods is 1, but that's going to constantly move. If I come down and do this same calculation for these other ones, that's going to constantly move down with me. So I want that one to move. I don't want $ on it. And then my future value is this, and like the number of years, right, it's going to move as well. So you see what I'm doing? I've put the number of years in here, and so that creates the number of periods then too that I'll be calculating that present value. And so for the 2,000, it's that. Now all I need to do, I can grab this, right? So my present value of 3,500 in 2 years is going to be 2,900. Okay, and I can grab that, and my present value of 4,500. I'm doing this one at a time. You guys can do the whole thing. Okay, my present value of $4,500 after 3 years is that. Now I can just carry this down then, because it's going to calculate that. That looks right. Okay, and this is simply a total of those. And whoa, what did I do wrong? Oh, it included the 9%, and I didn't want to do that, so you got to be kind of careful there. Grab that. There we go. And you can see that matches this up here. It might be easier to look at the timeline on this, and if you're doing it the hard way, like I did originally, but you look at the timeline of this, and you think if I'm calculating here want to come up with this number, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years worth. But when I calculate this, okay, and I'm going to go do that, the present value. Okay, my rate's here. Hit F4 even though it doesn't matter, I guess. But by number of periods, and I can actually plug this in. It is the 7, okay. And I've got a payment in this case. Okay. Now, this tells me that it's 0, that it's at the end of the period, and so that tells me then that if I'm receiving this at the end of year 4, okay, my calculation here then has to be for the beginning of year 4, right? Which is the same as end of year 3. Okay, I hope that makes sense. It's somewhat confusing. I understand that. So this is a calculation that's figuring out the present value of these for the end of year 3. And again, then to calculate that, I could put it in up here and come up with that, because I'd have to figure out what the present value then of this is. It would be in conjunction or at the same time basically as this, and I'd have to figure that out for 3 years. So if you want to do a double check, this is an easy way to do it. Now, the reason we don't like to do this totally is that while with 10 numbers or even 15 for your problem, it's relatively easy to plug it in. Okay, when you get into much bigger databases, you'd want to understand kind of how to do this, or much bigger spreadsheets, I should say. You'd still want to understand how to do this way, okay, so that you can handle those bigger numbers. Hope that clears it up a little bit. Thanks and good luck.